For Comedy Hype News, I'm Elaine Williams. There are certain names that just have that star quality. When you hear the name, you know they're going to make it. Bernie Mac, Cat Williams, those are the names of stars. Jamie Foxx was born Eric Marlon Bishop. He changed his name as an ode to Red Fox and chose the name Jamie because of how ambiguous it sounded. At open mics, women were typically called up first. Using the name Jamie didn't allow for any biases. Comedian Jon Stewart was born Jon Stewart Leibowitz. Stewart changed the name because people always had trouble pronouncing it. There's a variety of reasons why actors and comedians change their name. Sometimes they want to be more appealing to the mainstream, other times they felt disconnected to their family ties. Having a name that's catchy and stands out from everyone else is important for a Hollywood star. Some didn't think they'd make it with their own name, but their talent would have taken them towards success either way. Here are some comedians who use fake names you thought were real. Whoopi Goldberg was born Karen Elaine Johnson. In a New York Times interview, she revealed where she got the name from. Here's the thing, when you're performing on stage, you never really have time to go to the bathroom and close the door. If you get a little gassy, you've got to let it go. So people used to say to me, "You were like a whoopee cushion." That's where the name came from. In regards to her last name, Whoopi always said she had a strong connection to the name Goldberg. "My mother did not name me Whoopi, but Goldberg is my name. It's a part of my family, part of my heritage, just like being black." People would ask me in a roundabout way, "So, are you?" And I would say, "What?" And they'd say, "What does your name mean?" And then they would say, "Come on, are you Jewish?" And I would say, "Would you ask me that if I was white? I bet not." What's most interesting about this is, Whoopi appeared on the PBS documentary African American Lives, which used history and DNA analysis to trace the lineages of each episode's subject. There, it was discovered that Goldberg has ancestors in Guinea-Bissau. SNL alum Jay Farrell went by Jared Farrell. In 2019, Farrell was the guest on NPR's Ask Me Another and explained he changed his name because Farrell means a family of pigs. On the flip side, Farrell, P-H-A, that means royalty. It's like a total flip personality. In addition to disliking his last name, Farrell wasn't a fan of his first name either. "I was tired of people calling me Jared because that name sucks." Farrell began using the stage name we all know him as at the age of 19 when he started to seriously chase his dreams to be a comedian while working on the impressions that made him famous. Paul Mooney was born Paul Gladney, raised mostly by his grandmother in Louisiana and later moving to Oakland. Paul's grandma, Amy Ely, started the nickname Mooney, which she took from the actor Paul Mooney in the original Scarface. Before he went by Flex Alexander, he was known as Mark Alexander Knox. According to People magazine, after an early life of crime and selling drugs, Mark Alexander Knox began making clean money dancing in New York nightclubs. His acrobatic ability is the reason why he earned the nickname Flex. He officially picked up the stage name Flex Alexander after being discovered by Salt-N-Pepa and toured with them for 3 years. Flex made everyone laugh on the tour and decided to develop a stand-up act. Looking back on his first time on stage back in 1989, he said, "I killed them. When the crowd went wild, I said, yeah, I like this." John Witherspoon makes our list because his original last name was Witherspoon. John blamed it on the city and hospital's lack of keeping track of the correct name. Witherspoon was on his actual birth certificate. In 2018, John revealed on Vlad TV about his original surname. "In our family, some of my brothers and sisters were Witherspoon, some were Weatherspoon. That's how the city did it. They didn't give a damn. I'm a Witherspoon, but I think I might actually have been a Weatherspoon in the beginning." Joan Rivers was born Joan Malinsky. According to ABC News, her agent, Tony Rivers, advised her to create a stage name for herself. As a result, she chose Joan Rivers just because it felt right. Having a stage name made it easier to perform in those raunchy nightclubs. Joan Rivers was like a party dress I put on, so in those early days, she was the tiniest part of me, and Joan Malinsky was still frightened and confused and bewildered in her life. Red Fox's real name is John Elroy Sanford. The stage name comes from a combination of 2 nicknames. At a young age, while still in school, Foxx was part of a band called the Four Bonbons. They later changed their name to the Jump Swinging Six when they moved from Chicago to New York. He was called Chicago Red because that's where he moved from, and his hair and complexion had a reddish look. They always called him Foxy because he was always well dressed and knew how to talk to the women. Red decided to add double consonants to both names like former baseball player Jimmy Foxx. Red would later use his original surname, Sanford, for his sitcom Sanford and Son. Red took his father and brother's first name, Fred, to use for the character as a tribute. When celebrities change their names, many assume they're hiding or masking an ethnic identity. That's not always the case, as some change their names because they're playing characters like Larry the Cable Guy or Rodney Dangerfield. Some had rough childhoods and wanted to distance themselves from their families. On the opposite end, there are comedians who started off using stage names, but later decided to go with their real name. When Kevin Hart did stand-up for the first time, he signed up as Lil Kev the Bastard. We'll get to that list some other time. Stay up to date with the latest news and comedy by subscribing here to our YouTube channel and follow Comedy Hype across all social media platforms. For Comedy Hype News, I'm Elaine Williams.
Hi there, I'm Kim Coles, just stopping by to remind you it's voting time. People are trying hard to stop you from voting, so clearly your vote matters. If you didn't vote yet, go vote. If you already voted, great, call a friend and tell them to vote. Every single vote will make a difference. Now, I like to spread love and laughter, but this election is absolutely no joke, so you need to be vote ready. And if you have a problem voting, no problem at all. Just call 866-OUR-VOTE. That's 866-687-8683. On behalf of Georgia Black Women's Roundtable and the People's Agenda, grab your ID, your mask, your music, a book, snacks, a raincoat, a lawn chair, and go sit or stand in line and vote. Oh, and by the way, woo, 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 vote, vote, vote.